Welcome to your Saga Oasis. The paradox of desire, longing more, losing more. In our life, we often don't realize that our own expectations can be the barrier between us and what we desire. Excessive expectations not only create pressure, but also often push us further away from our goals. Let's explore why, when we act differently, things seem to naturally come our way. Relax, and everything will come to you. Living in a way that appreciates everything around you without being overly attached or desperately clinging to anything is one of life's greatest challenges. To achieve this, we need to live and work with all our might, love as if we've never been hurt, and dance as though no one is watching. However, when we pursue something too intensely, it often hides away from us, which is true for both romantic relationships and finances. For example, imagine an interesting girl at a party promises to call you back. You become anxious, worried, and eagerly await the call, but in the end, the caller is not the one you were expecting. For instance, suppose you urgently need to sell something, like a car or a house. You set a price and even lower it, but still no one buys. The more desperate and anxious you are for a sale, the less likely customers are to buy from you. Similarly, if you go to a restaurant and insist that the staff serve your food quickly, they may not be able to meet your request. The truth is, whenever we focus too intensely on something, we often inadvertently hinder its progress. So relax and everything will come to you. If you've been lonely for so long that you decide to give up and tell yourself that you don't need a partner, that you can be happy alone, then when you stop focusing on finding someone, something magical happens. People start to show interest in you. Whenever you desperately desire something, whether it's waiting for a phone call, wishing a loved one would quit a bad habit, hoping for a promotion, or seeking approval from others, you inadvertently create a negative energy around yourself, pushing those desires further away. Compare calmness with indifference. We advise you to be calm, but it's not the same as being indifferent. A calm person maintains their stance and knows that success comes from persistent effort and doing a job well. They always have a positive attitude, do not get discouraged after a failure, and are always ready for the next opportunity. For example, in job hunting, a calm person will carefully prepare for an interview and continue their normal life, whether they get the job or not, while an indifferent person doesn't care about the outcome, and a desperate person sees not getting the job as a severe failure. Calmness helps control your desires. The desire for money is a powerful human emotion. Many people are willing to fight to make money. In modern society, money is not only a means to survive, but also a symbol of success. This desire can disrupt everything in our lives. However, calmness can be the key to stabilizing our lives and achieving financial success. This explains why the rich tend to get richer. They maintain a clear mind to make better decisions. When short of money, you need to stay calm to find effective ways to earn. When you have money, you need to maintain composure to save and invest wisely to increase your wealth further. To avoid feelings of desperation, you need to implement specific steps to change your attitude. First, recognize that you don't need to have anything specific, whether it's money, recognition, or a particular relationship, to feel happy and fulfilled. Next, in any situation, do everything within your power to achieve your goals. Once you've done your best, forget about it, and move on with your work and life. Let things happen naturally. By doing this, you will reduce pressure and increase the chances for positive outcomes in your life. Learn to give. The saying, "If you want something, give it away," may seem against common sense, but it holds a profound truth. When you give, you often receive more than you expect. A farmer who plants seeds in the soil will reap a bountiful harvest. If you want a smile, be the first to offer one. When you help others, people are ready to help you in return. In business and personal connections, being willing to share can open up new opportunities and relationships, proving that giving truly is an investment in your own future and that of your community. There are very wealthy people who never share, and they often feel miserable. They might give a little, but always calculate their returns, or they save their wealth stingily and live miserably, only to leave this world with their fortunes unknown to others. Therefore, while it is necessary to enjoy material wealth, you must control it, not let it control you. Often, what you give away comes back to you in unexpected ways. Buddhism teaches that having excessive expectations in love can lead to suffering. When a young woman hopes that men will love and admire her, she may create unnecessary pressure and make men hesitant to approach her, causing her to lose her natural charm and grace. True love requires freedom, allowing both people to choose each other willingly. By staying calm and letting things develop naturally, and by giving off joy and ease, the young woman can find the sincere love of her life. Maintain positive thinking in every situation. Positive thinking is very important in our lives. Imagine you are on an airplane and one of the engines fails. In this critical moment, would you hope for a calm pilot who can handle the situation, or a panicked pilot who only knows how to scream and cry? Clearly, a calm pilot is more likely to ensure the safety of the flight. Just like in everyday life, we are the pilots of our own lives. An optimistic attitude allows us to approach and solve problems more effectively. While optimism doesn't guarantee absolute success, optimistic people know how to focus on what can be done. And as a result, they often achieve success. Cultivating optimistic thinking takes time and patience. It is a lifelong task, and it's even more challenging because we often don't realize that we are stuck in negative and pessimistic thinking. If you want to evaluate your thoughts, look at your personal growth, happiness, the quality of your social relationships, and even your own health. These are mirrors reflecting the conscious thoughts you are nurturing. If there are aspects of your life that you are not satisfied with, stop worrying and complaining. The energy you expend on these negative thoughts will continue to feed their existence. If you stop investing energy in them, you will see them gradually disappear from your life. For example, if your spouse comes home in a bad mood and wants to argue, but you decide not to engage in the argument, eventually they won't be able to continue the dispute alone. When you truly let go of negative thoughts in your mind, they will evaporate and disappear, lightening your load and making you feel more at ease. Understanding the relationship between the subconscious and life to grasp how optimistic thinking affects the subconscious. Imagine the brain divided into two parts, the conscious and the unconscious. The conscious part holds our alert thoughts and daily observations. The unconscious part contains automatic programs like breathing or digestion and skills we've learned, such as speaking or driving. When learning to drive, Initially, we consciously think about each action, from lifting a foot to pressing the brake. After repeated practice, these actions become automatic, no longer requiring conscious thought, and move into the unconscious part of the brain. Every day, we have about 50,000 thoughts, and unfortunately, most are negative. These repetitive thoughts can become part of our subconscious, affecting our behavior and decisions without us realizing. For example, if you frequently think you never have enough money, this thought can lead you to behave negatively with money, avoiding investment opportunities or spending irrationally, resulting in actually having less money. When we begin to understand our subconscious thoughts, we realize that no one is destined to be a failure. Our future is shaped by the conscious thoughts we choose and nurture. Developing discipline in thinking can help turn these new thoughts into subconscious programs, which in turn can propel us towards success. However, this requires time, persistence, and repetition, not immediate change. Take the example of a man who decides to change his life. He sets big goals like getting a promotion, buying a BMW, and acquiring a new house. Yet, throughout the week, he finds himself slipping back into familiar negative thoughts. By the weekend, he feels disappointed because positive thinking does not seem to yield immediate results, despite only reducing a small amount of negative thinking. Don't make excuses for yourself. Continually making excuses only leads others to criticize us more. For example, if a paranoid neighbor accuses you of being from Mars, would you naturally jump into a debate about it? Certainly not, because you know for sure you are not from Mars. Similarly, if you become the target of gossip at work, trying to justify yourself or prove your innocence could make things worse. Instead, if you ignore it and don't react, the gossip will eventually die down. When you are confident in yourself and know who you are, you don't need to make excuses. Don't resist support instead. If you decide to make your life a battle against something, what you resist will push back against you even harder. Instead, consider what you want to support. We control how we see other people's. For example, when a couple starts dating and the woman spills sauce on her clothes and loses her house keys, the man consoles her and helps her deal with the issue without complaint. Fast forward 3 years into their marriage, a similar incident occurs, but this time, the husband reacts irritably, complaining about his wife being clumsy and careless. They are still the same people, but his attitude has shifted dramatically. When we like someone, we are forgiving toward them. However, when we want to feel annoyed with someone, we tend to see only their faults. This shows that the way we choose to view others can change completely based on our circumstances and attitudes. Let's focus on what makes us appreciate others, encourage them to develop their good qualities, and avoid constantly criticizing or opposing them. Sometimes, people who frequently criticize others may justify their actions by claiming they are just stating the truth. However, this truth is often shaped by our own personal perspectives. When we decide to focus on the positive and likable aspects of a loved one, our relationship with that person improves and becomes more positive. Adopting this viewpoint is not easy and may sometimes feel uncomfortable, but the results will undoubtedly lead to significant improvements in our relationships. Be grateful. Gratitude and sincere appreciation not only make us feel happier, but also bring many other benefits. When we express gratitude for what we have, we feel richer and often encounter more good things. Gratitude helps us maintain a positive attitude and attracts more good into our lives. For instance, during a camping trip, a man got lost in the woods overnight. Fortunately, a botanist happened to find him just before dawn and guided him back to the main path. The man was extremely grateful to his rescuer and donated a sum of money to a wildlife conservation fund. His gratitude not only enhanced his own well-being, but also contributed positively to many others. In short, having excessive expectations can not only fail to bring results, but can also push what we desire even further away. To truly receive what we want, we need to maintain an open mindset, not be obsessed with outcomes, and take proactive steps with the belief that good things will come. By doing this, we not only reduce pressure, but also create space for our desires to materialize. It's the end of the video. Thank you for joining us today. And don't miss out on more videos from us by subscribing and turning on the notification bell icon.